Oh, fried, all fried, all fried. Howdy there, pals. And welcome to tonight's stream. It is Jolene here coming at you live. Let me turn this down, hold on. Sorry, it's been a minute since I streamed. Last time I streamed was my model reveal and karaoke stream. Took a bit of a break, but we're back at it again with a tier list. We are doing the True Blood characters. Yep. Gonna be ranking them. I've watched, jeez, if I can talk. I watched all the show recently, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was the first time I watched it, which actually, years back I tried to watch it, but I didn't get past a few minutes of them to the first episode, so, yeah. So, I don't know how I couldn't get into it, but, that's what it is. I want to make sure this music's coming through. Turn up the music a little bit. Or do I need to? I'm gonna turn up a little bit. So I'm gonna turn off my dryer because I feel like that's making too much noise. I'll be right. Okay. But yeah, so I was saying I just fell in love with True Blood. I can't believe I never got into it, but I'm also glad I never got into it because it gave me something new to watch. So, new and fresh, and we'll love that. You know me about if anyone knows, I love me a good vampire or just any kind of supernatural show. Oh, I love it. So, I want more shows. I start watching Midnight Texas, so I like that so far. I think I'm on episode 5, so yes. But anywho, let's not waste any more time here. Let's get on into this list. So please excuse me, and we'll get right on into it. Alrighty. Sure that looks okay. Alrighty, now let's pull that up. Here we are. Make sure that sounds okay, because I don't want to. Why can't you hear the music? My goodness. Let me turn that up, because I don't want it to be silent in here. Oh, it's going. It's malfunctioning. I turn it. Okay, you can hit it. Like that. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Turn it. Hello, hello. Sorry, I have to do it for my phone. Sorry. Okay, now let's get into it. Why does it keep malfunctioning? Okay, here's all the things I wrote. So most of these, except for we stand and deserve better, that was already on there, but I kept one. Top of the top, you are my everything. Self-explanatory. We stand 50-50. This is gonna be self-explanatory, but who I liked, but also didn't like at the same time, and then deserved better, because some of them did deserve better. They were done pretty shitty. Disliked by Iconic. Yeah, some of them you didn't love, but they were iconic. And then just fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Fuck you. We don't like you over here. You're dumb. You are dumb. You belong in the trash, or even worse, bitch. Okay, look, I want to turn this air off. Okay, I put them all in order of how I'm doing them. Okay, first is first. Howdy there, Fern the Leaf. Appreciate you being here. And you too, Nichols, brother. I'm doing swell. It's nice to see you. It's been a bit, but doing pretty swell. I hope you are too. But we are starting with what's her name? Amy? Is that her name? Amy. Now, she came in season 1. I knew it. There's just something not right with this. She just randomly came in and was Jason's girlfriend. I'm like, I don't know. I just knew something was off with the whole thing, and I was right. She ended up being a psycho, crazy bitch. Addicted to that vampire blood. How so what? What you mean? But yeah. I just knew. I'm like, this girl is just so random. Why she's randomly appeared. And then all of a sudden her and Jason were together. And I just knew something wasn't right with this, okay? Like I said, addicted to the vampire, but she kind of appeared to be like a good person, a good character. I need music, hold on. A good character, but no, she wasn't. She was trying to appear as that, but she was crazy. She was so addicted to the vampire blood. Yeah, I knew something was up with her when she appeared, and then she was so quick to be with Jason and all that, and it's just odd. Got the tier of a step below Jolene. Top tier awesome. Top tier awesome. I'm trying to find. If some of this music appears weird, sorry, it's on Streamlabs. I'm doing Streamlabs blues music. But yeah, she was weird. Addicted to the vampire blood. They didn't have any. So, her and Jason, she made Jason kidnap this vampire who was, it's where Lafayette, one of the characters, he's a drug dealer. It's where he got the the vampire blood. He got it from him. And in exchange for some favors, okay? Kidnapped the vampire, locked him up in the basement, and they were taking his blood, and she didn't want to feed him. She's like, yeah, he's just a vampire. I'm telling you, the vampire that kidnapped, he was like the sweetest guy, okay? He was sweet, just lonely old feller, okay? And Jason, because he has a heart, feeds him without her knowing. And then she finds out, and all this happens, and then she kills him. She kills him. Crazy. So she got the ending she deserved. Damn, Renee strangled her ass and killed her. But we don't like her. She's crazy. Terrible person. So she's going in the big fuck you. We don't like you, Amy. We don't like you here. Okay. Next up is Crystal. She appears in the show. I don't know what's going on with the music, but I don't know how this is under blues, but okay. But anyways, they were doing, I don't know, was it a drug bust at someone's place, and she was there randomly, and Jason sees her and goes after her, and then Jason falls in love with her. I know it's another Jason girlfriend, but he gets around in the show. Okay. Okay, she's trying to get away from her life, but she can't. Terrible life. Turns out she's a werepanther. Like, okay, some of these shows do get on my nerves. Like, why can't it just stick to the werewolves? Why does it have to be werepanthers and jaguars and tigers? Just stick to werewolves, okay? All this other stuff just kind of just gets on my nerves, to be honest. But anyways, yeah, she's a werepanther, and her whole family's werepanthers, but they're all like inbred, and they're secluded, like. But she ends up, her fiance go off together, leaving the whole family without anyone, so Jason takes care of them. Her fiance is her cousin, I think, by the way, because they're all inbred, incest. But then they come back. They, like, kidnap Jason. They have him tied to this bed. And they, like, bite him as their panther selves, thinking that he's going to turn. And they make him the ghost daddy, what they call it. Because they need more people. And I think where they're all inbred, they can't do it. And also, for some reason, old fiance dude, he wasn't getting the job done, okay? But yeah, they kidnap him, Jason, bite him. He's tied down to his bed. He can't escape. And then they have all the women in the clan. Yeah, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying to have babies. Very messed up. She's messed up. Jason ends up killing the fiance, and she's like, "Oh, we can finally be." No, bitch. After you're fucking crazy, so you're getting a big fuck you too, bitch. Fuck you. Freaking freaks. I swear. Jeez. Jeez, OPs. Next up, we have, what's her name? Is it Sophie Ann? I'm gonna have to look it up. Got her name. I think that's what it is. Yes. Sophie Ann. She was the queen, vampire queen of Louisiana. She was kind of a baddie, not gonna lie. Queen of Louisiana. She was a baddie. Honestly, I don't think I have much to say about her, but she was queen. Oh, she had Bill, Vampire Bill, look into our main protagonist, Sookie, and that's how they got together. He just ended up falling in love with her, but that wasn't like, trying to figure out what she was. But anyways, she ended up dying because Bill killed her, okay? And Bill ended up becoming the king of Louisiana. But we're going to give her dislike but iconic. She was the queen of Louisiana after all, and she was just a baddie. So look at her. Okay? Next up, we have Hoyt's mom. That's what we're going to refer her as because I don't remember her name. Hoyt's mother. She's very overprotective, overbearing. She's very controlling of Hoyt. He's a freaking grown ass 28-year-old man, and she's still trying to baby him and all this. But she's a terrible person. She's all up in everyone's business, which, I mean, obviously, old lady's gonna be one for gossip. But someone gets murdered, and she's just worried about being, I don't know. And also, she's terrible to Jessica. You do not be mean to my Jessica, okay? Just because she's a vampire, she don't like Jessica, and she's mean to her. And she won't leave poor Hoyt alone. So we're going to put her in the fuck you too, because you do not treat Jessica like that. And she ended up being one of those crazy townspeople who were just trying to kill everybody, all the vampires. But this is a vampire show, okay? We're on the vampire side, okay? Unless we just don't like you. So fuck you, Hoyt's mom. Okay, next up we have Nan Flanagan. She was, she's the one who was all in, like, the media, like, on TV, doing, like, the interviews. She was a part of the Authority. I guess she was, like, the vampire spokesperson, basically. Saying vampires they don't need to feed on humans and blah 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 because of true blood, gets the synthetic blood. Whatever. I don't have much to say about her either because she's kind of meh. I didn't really like her all too much. But, you know, she was kind of iconic too. She was baddie. Nan Flanagan. Bill and Eric killed her. But, you know, she's pretty, I guess iconic. She's an iconic character. Next is Sheriff. Is it Dearborn? Whatever. Don't have much to say about him, but fuck him too. I kind of liked him at first. He was kind of like goofy a little bit, but he stopped becoming a sheriff at one point, and then he was off the show, and then all of a sudden he was back on the show. And he was in this group hunting down any, not just vampires, any damn supernatural creature. Just killing them. Kill them all. And they were filming it, and they had an Obama mask. Why? Anyways, yeah, he was part of that. And we do not support that shit. At all. So, he is going in the fuck you. Piece of shit. Fuck you. We don't like you. He's dumb. We don't support hate groups, bitch. Yeah, I'm on the supernatural people side. Especially ones who ain't even killing anybody. They don't hurt flies. Like shifters. Killing. Like, get real. So stupid. My gosh. Next up is Renee. He came off as like, you know, just, you know, average regular guy. He was everyone's friend. He was Arlene's fiance. He ended up being. You know, he just seemed like a good guy. But he wasn't. Season 1, there was somebody going around murdering women who liked vampires and were like messing around with the vampires. And it was Renee the whole time. And I knew it since what episode did I start suspecting him as the murderer? I think it's like episode 2, I think. I started suspecting him because he lived right there beside the second girl who got murdered. So, I'm like, is it him? And I had some other suspicions too about who was the murderer. But it always ended up leading back to him. And I was like, yeah, you're the murderer, aren't you? Yeah. And he ended up being the murderer. He even faked his accent. He pretended to be Cajun. He really wasn't. He had a tape. It's like Cajun accents for actors. So he even faked that. Yeah, piece of shit. Who ended up killing him? Was it Sookie? Yeah. Yeah. And he killed her grandma. It was supposed to be Sookie, but no. Wrong place, wrong time. Even though it was her own house. He was trying to get Sookie, but happened upon her gran, and so he killed her. Poor sweet gran. Who does that? And he killed the cat. He killed the cat too afterwards. So, fuck you, Renee. For Gran. And, was it Tina the cat? And the cat too! So he's below these people. Okay, next up is eggs. Not much to say about him. He's a pretty good guy, but he was under Marianne's spell, basically. Was in a relationship with Tara. They were pretty good together. But then after all the stuff that happened, because he's brainwashed by Marianne, basically. He didn't realize she was a freak. And then she was also making people do stuff without them knowing. Like their eyes would go all black and they would do all the stuff that she wanted them to do. Freaking freak, Marianne. And he didn't remember it, but he had Suki. The places like bring all that back, and he felt so guilty. He was turning himself in. He had like this knife. He's like, "Is it a murder weapon?" But it looked like he was trying to attack Andy, the new sheriff. And so Jason saw it and shot and killed him, and that was that. And it's honestly awful. Poor guy. We're gonna put him in deserve better because poor guy. And it's like nobody can be happy in the show. Everyone keeps dying. Why can't people just be happy? Like, jeez. One thing about these shows, let people be happy, damn it. You're killing off all their lovers. They can't have nothing. I swear. Jeez. Poor Eggs. They called him Eggs because his name was Benedict or whatever. But he's a good guy. He definitely deserved better. He could have stayed in the show a little longer, but I guess they didn't really have anything for him. But poor Tara. Which leads us to Marianne. She was a mythological creature, a Maenad, is that what it's called? Anywho, yeah, she had all these crazy powers. She could possess people. Only people. If you were like something supernatural, she couldn't do that too. And had them have all these like sex parties and made them kill other people. She was crazy doing all this stuff. And she found Sam when he was like 17. Sam ended up getting away from her, but she found him and wanted to sacrifice him. It was like some kind of god for him to be. Is he supposed to be like a vessel or something? It was something, I don't know. Some crazy shit. But she did all that shit. She sucked. Making people do this, but she was also a baddie. She did all this horrible stuff. I didn't like her, but she was pretty iconic at the same time. So, we'll put her there. Let's go to our next villain, Marnie Pike. Just kidding. Marnie, and she's a witch. She seems like this just sweet lady. Sweet lady at first. They're all just doing their little witch craft or like Wicca or something. And then they like bring this dead bird back to life. And word gets back to Bill and Eric. And they're like, oh, because something happened. This one witch was burned a long time ago. But she like could control the vampires and brought them all out into the sunlight. And like a certain distance of people. And yeah. And so Eric was sent to stop them from doing the magic. He's like, you better stop. It's like, no. So he attacked him, and then she took his memories away. And he was like under some sort of spell for a while there. But she was like possessed by the witch, the dead witch. And everyone thought it was her, because she started going crazy doing all these bad things. But no, it was her. It was her plans all along. And the witch in her was trying to leave. But no, she pulled her back. So yeah, she was crazy. Crazy. What she did to my man Eric. My goodness. But I think she was pretty iconic at the same time. But she deserved what she got at the end. But a witch, pretty iconic. Pretty iconic. Next we have Ginger. Now she worked in the bar Fantasia. She had worked there since it became a thing. It was actually her idea, we found out. So I feel like they just kind of treated her a little poorly there. God bless her heart. But we liked her. She was a sweetie. Like she was a little too desperate for Eric, but who wouldn't be? Because I would. So we stand Ginger. And she could have been deserved better, because she did for us, but she got the best at the end. If y'all don't know what I'm saying. She got her some of Eric. Okay? That's all she been wanting the whole time. Next we have Grandpa Niall. He's Sookie and Jason, the great, I don't know how many great grandpa. Fairy guy, royalty, fairy king guy. He's pretty cool, pretty awesome, pretty powerful. I'm just wondering, where has he been this whole time? He's just now showing up, but he's pretty cool. He taught Sookie certain things that she can do with her powers. And he, helped them. And we stand Grandpa Niall. Cool dude. Next up we have Warlow. Big bad Warlow. He is a vampire fairy hybrid. So, he's a vampire with fairy powers. He can walk in the day, read the minds. He's also a vampire. He came in acting like he was a fairy, and then he was acting like he was some good guy. We found out he's the one who killed Sookie and Jason's parents, but they were trying to kill Sookie. Well, not the mom, the dad was, but the mom was there. Trying to kill her. Because Sookie was promised to Warlow to marry. And they didn't want her to become... The dad didn't want Sookie to become a vampire, so he was going to kill her. Okay. So you're just going to murder your 8-year-old child? freaking freak. Anywho, he seems like he has good intentions. So Sookie, you know, he was also Lilith's progeny. Lilith made him the vampire. Lilith, whatever. And he hated being a vampire because he killed all his family, his clan or whatever. But yeah, Sookie was promised to him, so she was like, okay. She ended up, I'll marry you, but let's date first. Let's get to know each other, get to know my family, my friends. And then he's like, hey, do you think you are? He hits her. And he's like, ties her up. And tries to get on with the marriage ceremony. But luckily, they get him. It stops. And they end up, he ends up just going bye-bye, okay. Like, what a freak. So I don't know where to place it because how he was treating Sookie, I did not like that one bit. But he was also kind of hot and kind of, you know, iconic, a fairy vampire guy. Come on. So we're going to put him there. Disliked, but iconic. We don't like the mistreatment of Sookie. He did to her. Man. Freaking idiot, freak. Well, he wasn't an idiot, he was just a freak. Next up, we have Luna. She was a shifter. She ended up being Sam's girlfriend. She had a daughter, and then her ex was this crazy douchebag werewolf pack leader. And her daughter ended up being a werewolf too. They didn't know if she was going to be a werewolf or a shifter, but she turned into a wolf, so I was like, oh. But yeah, we didn't really get much of her, and then she ended up dying. And then Sam ended up moving on, like, the next day. Like, what the hell? You immediately get with somebody right after your girlfriend dies, dude. But I liked her. I'm going to put her in deserved better because we could have got more at her. But they wanted to kill her off. And then Sam immediately gets with someone else. Can't tell. I'm blinking my eyes because what the hell? That is messed up shit right there. Like, Next up we have Nora. She was Eric's sister by, like, they shared the same creator, Godric. But they were, like, into each other. Like, it first shows, like, them, I don't know the word, but they see each other again after many years, and they start, like, making out. And then Bill and whoever's like, who's this? Or, like, and Eric's like, my sister. And it's like, you're, what? But no, they shared the same vampire creator who turned them. So it's like, why do you have to say sister, though, dude? Please don't ever say that again. But he kept calling her his sister. They were messing around the whole time. Just don't, okay? She was a baddie, though. I don't think I have much to say about her. But I'm going to put her in 50-50 because I liked her, but I was like, also like, meh, you know, at the same time. She also was one of them that went freaking insane. Bill was one of them too. Bill. Ugh. Anyway, next up is James. We use second James. Different actor played him at first, but he was in more, so I'll use this one. James, he was actually a pretty good guy. He was a vampire, but he wasn't bad. He wasn't evil. They were in this place, like a lot of vampires were. They were like doing experiments on them. And he was just a good guy. And he was with Jessica and, but I don't know. They just weren't meshing well, I guess. And so he ended up falling for Lafayette, and they ended up hooking up. Him and Jessica were still together, and she caught them. Ooh. Ugh. But, you know, she really wasn't into him anyways. And right after she slept with Jason, so. Because she just knew she wasn't feeling him anymore. She was at the very beginning when they first like met and were together, but, you know, last season, no, she just, and him and Lafayette just hit it off, so. But he really didn't bring much. But, I'm gonna put him in We Stand because he was good. We liked him. I didn't dislike him at all. I liked him, so. Sometimes I kind of just, he was kind of there, but we stand him. He was a good guy. Next up is Jesus. He was some kind of witch type guy. We first did him because he was a nurse. He took care of Lafayette's mother in the institution she was at. And then they ended up, you know, they hit it off, went out, they were together. He was, you know, he was pretty good. He's the one who killed Marnie down here. It was all thanks to him, even though he's the one who got Lafayette in the mess and Tara. The whole Wiccan group or whatever. But she honestly took everyone hostage, and they just want to leave, but they couldn't. But he ended up dying, because Lafayette was possessed, because Lafayette ended up being a medium. He was possessed by Marnie's spirit, and she killed him in Lafayette's body. That's so messed up. But yes. He, sacrificed his, power to save Lafayette's life, and he ended up dying. But we stand him. He was cool. We liked him. He's a great guy. Oh, don't get me started on this next character, Debbie Dampelt. She was awful. Like, she's a werewolf. She was with Alcide, but she left him, and I think she always, like, messed around on him, like, cheated on him, and was not very well to him. She was a vampire blood addict. Werewolves on vampire blood, like, it made them, like, way, like, stronger and stuff. But, yeah. So, she was so messed up on it, and, she tried to kill Sookie. And her man, Alcide, he's fine. Like, you leave him for some man named Cooter. I think that's what. Get real. Come on now. She was awful. And then they get back together because she got clean. So she says. Alcide was already, he had fallen for Suki, but they were together. But he was trying to make sure Suki was okay and, you know, keeping an eye out for her. And she noticed this. And he ended up, he was like, okay, I promise I won't go see her ever again. He lied. And then she went and tried to kill Suki again. Brought a shotgun into Suki's home. Shot it. Tara pushed Suki out the way, and she blew Tara's head off. And then Suki killed her, and that's what she deserved. Bitch. And mess around on Alcide. What is that? Oh, I'm hearing noises. Actually, I hate it. Like, I think I hated her more. She's one of the worst people on the show. But she's terrible. Fuck you. Alcide was too good for you. He's way out of your league. Next up is Tara's mom. She was a terrible mother. She was an alcoholic, and she just was not very good to Tara. She was verbally abusive to her. I think she got physical with her too, a little bit. So, Suki's gran took a lot of care of Tara when she was a kid. And throughout the whole show, she was just mean to Tara. She was so mean to her, and then the very end, the very last season is when, you know, she started doing better. And that's when Tara dies. When Tara's, well, it's like the end of season 6 and then the whole season 7. She's like, I haven't taken care of you. Now it's time for me to do what I was supposed to do. And lets Tara feed on her. Tara ended up being a vampire because she got her brains blown out. But, like, bitch, she was just... At some points throughout, she was trying to try, but then she just ended up sucking. Until the very end, and she was getting messages from Tara from the vampire blood she was taking. But... she kind of deserved better, but also, fuck you for most of the parts. We're gonna put her at fuck you, because you are a terrible person to your child, who you shouldn't be a terrible person to, out of everybody. Next up is Tommy. Now this is Sam's brother. He was a shifter too. Poor guy, because Sam was adopted, so Sam didn't know his real family. Real family, or like his biological family. I shouldn't say real, but it's his little brother. And this poor guy, his parents were not very good to him. Since he was a shifter, they made him shift into a dog, and they put him in dog fights. Like, that's so messed up. And then they put him in the show, but they barely do anything with his ass. And then he ends up dying. Deserved better, buddy. I'm sorry, because they could have really done something with him. But no. They barely had him in the show. And then Sam was kind of a jerk to him. Like, I know he wasn't... He was only 19. He didn't really know things. Like, yeah, he stole from Sam. He wasn't that great, but Sam should have tried to help him more. But he was back in the show, and then the same with her. They could shift into people, but it kills you, so that's what basically killed them both. So yeah, but he also got like jumped by 5 werewolves that was related to her husband. It was all connected, but yeah, because he was shifted into Sam. But he deserved better, like the whole time. Then they didn't do shit with him, and he could have been treated a little better because he needed somebody to help him. Bunch of jerks, if you ask me. Okay, next we have this bitch. This is Bill's maker. What's her name? Sorry, I don't know why. You got your hands on my sister. Hell, Lorena. Sorry for some of these songs. I don't know what's coming on. This bitch. She made Bill. She turned him. She would lure men into her cabin, or like they came in there. She had the agenda. They were soldiers from the Civil War, and they came in, and I guess they like weren't very gentlemen, if you know what I'm saying. And so she just killed them, and then did the same to Bill. Bill was a great guy, upstanding gent, and so she turned him instead. And he couldn't go back to his family or anything. He had to spend time with her, and they were together for a while, and then he finally escaped her ass. But she couldn't kill him or anything, and she didn't want him to die, and he threatened to take his own life, and so she just released him because the makers can have some kind of control over their they call them progenies, who they created and turned, and so she released him because she was in love with him. And then we got to see her again, and she sucked. She just was in love with Bill though the whole time. But she was awful. But she was still iconic. She was baddie. Didn't like her, but I do have to say she was iconic still. But she could have been a fuck you, but she was iconic. Okay, now we go on. This is grand. This is Adele's Stackhouse. Sookie's and Jason's grandma, Hart. We love her. She was a total, complete sweetheart. She was such a good person. She did not deserve that. She did not deserve to die, especially by Renee's freaking hands. She deserved a peaceful death. But no, she didn't get it. She was a good lady. She deserved the world. And that's why Renee's in at the bottom of fuck you, because he killed this woman. And she was very open-minded about the vampire stuff, which I love to see in a vampire show. I'm taking sides with vampires for the most part, because that's what the show's about. Unless they just absolutely suck. They're sexy vampire. I'm not gonna be like, no, kill these no. I'm watching these shows just to see some sexy vampires, okay? So we're putting her very first You are my everything. I love you, Grant. She did not deserve that. And I would have thought she would have been in the show longer, but no. She died the first season. That was ridiculous. So fuck you, Renee. Fuck you. So stupid. Next up, we have Russell Edgington. Is that what it is? Anyways, he's like a 3,000-year-old vampire. Very powerful. He didn't want anything to do with what they call the, let me think. It's slipping my mind. You know when you just get like a brain fart? It's just like, The Authority. He wanted nothing to do with it because the Authority wanted vampires to stop really killing humans, you know? And he didn't have anything. He didn't want anything to do with that. So he was this big bad vampire. He went on TV, national television, live TV, and killed somebody. He gave no shits. He's like, this is what we are. Yeah. So he was really ruining their plans. And he also killed all of Eric's family before he was a vampire. But he was very iconic. He's top of the list iconic. He was bad. In both terms, bad. Like, dang. They were going to kill him, but no. Bill and Eric freaking put him, he was awakened by the sun because Eric was going to kill him because he killed Eric's family, and Eric was going to kill himself while trying to kill him out in the sun. So, yeah, but they stopped that from happening. But then they just, put him in cement and was keeping him there instead of killing him. So I guess he could just be tortured the whole time. But no, somebody got him out of there. And he was back and he was doing all this shit. And he was the one giving the werewolves the vampire blood. This whole pack of werewolves were under his command because he was giving them his blood. Who the pack Debbie was getting into? Yeah. That. But he was bad. He was a baddie. Baddie too. But didn't really like him, but he was iconic. You cannot say otherwise. He was probably the most iconic villain out of the whole show. Speaking of villains, this bitch. She was with this whole religious group. Was it Fellowship of the Sun or something like that? But they hated vampires. It was like their whole thing. Her and her husband, Steve, they were all on TV and all this. Jason ended up joining this group. She was into Jason. They messed around. But she was the main person, and that camp I was telling, like the whatever, where they were doing the experiments on the vampires. Yeah, she was all. It was her, mostly her. She was Like, the one who, I think, came up with all this shit. She was in a relationship with the, who's it, mayor or someone of Louisiana, okay? But she always keeps finding these men. That's all she does. She was shit. Hated her. She had them create this disease for vampires that killed them. And they were putting it in the true blood. The fake blood that vampires were drinking. Yes, that was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This bitch. And she ended up drinking the antidote. And so she became an antidote for it. And they found out. And Pam and Eric ended up locking them in their basement at Fantasia. And they had that going. They were getting paid for that. Yeah, for her blood. That's what she gets. Dumb bitch. Fuck you. That's where you're going. You sucked. You don't hurt my precious Eric or any of them. Because you want to put some disease in their blood and cause a whole thing with infected vampires, and they were even worse before. They're worse than just healthy vampires. Going around killing and going crazy. It's a whole big thing. All because of her. Stupid bitch. Fuck you. All the way at the bottom. You deserve to be locked up in the basement, having vampires feed on you, so they can be cured. And Pam and Eric get all that money from it. That's what you get. Howdy there, Star Fox. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Anywho, let's go on to the next person. Let's be Sarah is her name. Her husband, ex-husband, Steve, they started out married, but they ended up not being. Because he ended up turning to a vampire. They were both part of that son thing. He was more of like the head of it. But he ends up getting turned into a vampire, so he's on the other side now. But he pays a little visit to Jason. It's like, I'm in love with you. Jason's like, well, I'm not into you, buddy. But yeah, man, he's a part of the authority, and he ends up being in that vampire experiment camp thing with a bunch of others. You know what? He was a little shit the whole time, but he was entertainment. He was one of them characters that were terrible, but something you just like them. I don't know, but yeah, he went complete opposites, and he was also a wuss, and so it's kind of his fault what happened to a bunch of vampires. But I'm gonna put dislike but iconic. Put him here because there's something about him, I just can't help it. Well, that's good to hear. And yep, it has been a minute. I haven't streamed for a couple weeks until now since my model reveal, but it is very good to see you. Next up, we have our boy Godric. He was Eric and Laura's creator, or maker. He was very old. I don't even know how old he was, but he was old and powerful. The Sun people Him and her, their group captured him, but he just willingly went. And he just wanted. He just realized what vampires been doing this whole time was just awful, and he just didn't want no part in it anymore, and so he just ended himself. He was so good, so nice, so sweet. He could have ended everybody if he wanted to, but he didn't. We loved him to death, so we stand Godric. He gave us our man Eric, who we adore. We stand him. He was really just good. He was great. I don't even know what this song is. Okay, next up we have Andy Belfleur. How do you say him? Sheriff. He first off was just a detective, now he's a sheriff. He was very annoying at the beginning. Didn't like him. Then at the end he got better. You know, just a lot of cops and shows are just annoying. So, depending on what you watch, but yeah, he's just annoying. He got better. We liked him in the end. He ended up having fairy children, and he helped a lot with certain things. So we're gonna put him in 50-50. I don't know what this music is, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah. At the end, he was on the right side, for sure. The right side quotes. The vampire. Oh. Damn, we're getting close to the end here. There's a lot of characters on here. So, and once we get done with this, we're going to end. Next up is Holly. She's a waitress. And she's also one of the Wiccan people. And she's also with Sheriff Andy here. Honestly, she's a pretty good character. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with her, but she was very helpful. Not when she was in that Wiccan group, but you know, she wasn't trying to hurt people or anything. Yeah, I like her. Good character. I wish they did do a little bit more with her. But overall, I liked her a good amount. So we're going to put her at We Stand. But she's good. She was bad bitch. So, yeah. Next up is Hoyt. We talked about his mom earlier. He was just, you know, generally nice guy. He was a gentleman. Very nice and sweet. Kinda cute as well, but he's kind of weenie. But he was with Jessica, and then Jessica didn't want to be with him anymore because she just needed to do something else. She needed something else at the moment, and then he got really mad, and then he started calling her a monster and was being mean to her, and I did not like that. You know, like when men get rejected and they start like, yeah, you're a fat, ugly bitch anyways, or something. It's kind of giving that kind of vibe. I understand you're hurt and upset because you're getting broken up with, but like, you knew she was a vampire. Why are you saying these things to her? And he's just like a weenie. And he had her glamour him to forget her. And also because her and Jason had hooked up afterwards. And that was his best friend, so. Ugh. But yeah, I liked Hoyt, but he was also a weenie at the same time, so I'm going to put him at 50-50. I know a lot of people like Hoyt. I like him. He's a great guy, but he's just weenie, man. Why are you such a weenie? Next up, we have Terry. He is cousins with Andy here. And he ends up marrying Arlene here. Bless his heart. This man had like PTSD and... Yeah, but he was just a great guy. He was very great. Loved him to death. He started out when it just showed him, he was always just like crying or something. I was like, oh, this poor guy. He's always just... because he's messed up in the head from being in the war. We're going to put him at the very top of what we stand. Because I really like Terry. Great guy, great personality. And then he ended up marrying Arlene. Finally, because he had liked her the whole time since he started working at the bar. And then, yeah. But bless his heart, he ended up dying because he wanted to die. Because he had like, he was cursed by this woman, cursed everyone, all the soldiers, because he killed his person ahead of him, like told him to kill this lady during the war when he didn't really need to, and he felt shit about it the whole time. But yeah, she cursed them with like some kind of like fire spirit thing, and yeah, it was just like killing everyone who had something to do with it. And then finally it got down to him and this other guy, and the other guy was going to kill him, but he didn't want to do it, so he ended up killing the other guy. And then the spirit, like, she lifted the curse. But he ended up just, I don't know, he just wanted, he didn't want to be alive anymore. Poor guy. But we loved him. Great guy. Next is his wife, Arlene. She was a waitress too. She was first with Renee, the first murderer. She didn't know. She has 2 kids. Well, 3 actually. Ended up having another one with Terry, but it was actually Renee's kid. But Terry was okay with it. He loved that baby. Anyways, Arlene, honestly, she was annoying most of the time. Never liked the vampires, which, you think about it, obviously, it's, like, understandable, but, like, you're watching the shows, you're going to be like, yeah, vampires. Woo, we love the vampires. And someone who's always just being so negative about the vampires and all this stuff, it's just so annoying. But also, she had her moments, too. So, we're going to put her at 50-50. She was great by the end. Okay, now we're getting into the big dogs. I didn't even, if you know, I didn't even mean to make that, but joke, but because this next character, Sam, he's a shifter, and his main thing he shifts into is a dog. I did not mean to even say that, but oh well, it worked out. He's a shifter. He owns the bar everyone works at and goes to in the town. He's in love with Sookie in the beginning. In one scene, he like manhandles her. He's like, because she goes in like, because Bill comes in the bar and she's like hollering to Bill. Everyone's staring because he's a vampire. And he snatches her up by her arm. Like, you let go of her. Do not do that to her. He was like kind of with Sookie in the beginning. Yeah, I did not like that. He came off kind of as a weenie, but he really wasn't. He was kind of a badass, actually, but he was a good guy, but also, I didn't like some things he did. The other things he was the one who, when his girlfriend died, he moved on like that to some girl. I don't know if she's kind of some kind of journalist who was trying to expose the shifters and all that. She thought that it was best for everyone to just say what they are, because they shouldn't be hiding. Okay, I don't have any problems with this girl, okay? Whatever. They tried the wrong ones because they went up into a werewolf pack place and tried to pull this shit, like recording them and shit, and they killed all her buddies, but she got away thanks to Sam, and Sam immediately got with her. That was stupid as shit. Not here for that. Goodbye. But Sam was trying to take care of her daughter. She did not want her daughter to be with the werewolves, but I mean, one of them was her grandma. But good thing that the dad, who was also, he was crazy, freak, stalker, abusive to her, and they weren't together. So he ended up dying though. But the grandma wanted the granddaughter because she thought she should be with, you know, other werewolves, which is it's true, and also it's her grandma. But Sam, they ended up taking the grandma, and the wolf pack took the daughter. But Sam ended up taking her, like, away without them knowing. But he gave her back, ended up giving her back. Which I do appreciate him trying to take care of the daughter, but why are you getting with some other woman so quick? She just died. I don't understand that shit. Like, she had just died. But overall, Sam, I guess he was a good character, but I'm gonna put him 50-50 because I didn't like him all the time. Next up, we have Tara, Sookie's best friend in the show. In the very first season, I liked her because she was funny. She didn't care. She would just say whatever. She didn't care. If you're doing something or saying something she didn't like, she'd tell you. She was just funny. But she didn't like vampires. And just after the first season, she just kept getting more annoying to me. And then the whole not liking vampires thing. She was just annoying. That's really all I can say. And she treated even Jessica bad. Jessica never did one thing to her. And she didn't want to be around Jessica just because she was a vampire. Bitch. Bye. But she a lot of stuff happened to this poor girl though, in the show. She ended up dying, but they had her turn into a vampire at the season. What season was that? It's like season 5 or 6. I can't really remember. Maybe it's season 5. But that's when I started liking her again. But I feel like they could have done more with her, because in one season, it was the beginning of the season, it showed that she was like doing MMA and she was a fighter. I feel like they could have done a little bit more into that. Also, I was reading, people were saying that they didn't really know what to do with her character, so they like set her back, like with her character progression. Is that what it is? And I do believe, like, I can see that, but they just kept setting her back, and so I didn't like her for the majority of the time. I'm gonna put her in Deserve Better, because they definitely could have done more with her. They could have done something different. Apparently in the books, she had a better life. Like she was better in the books. I think a lot of characters, I think, were. But yeah, she deserved better. They could have put her in different. And she not only did she get turned into a vampire, and I was starting to like her from that, and then she gets killed off, and they don't even show it. I don't know. It's like, damn, you should have just killed her off and not made her a vampire or anything. And she ended up having a thing with Pam a little bit. But they could have done more with her being a vampire too. I definitely think she just deserved better. Her mom was shit. Her boyfriend got killed. But yeah. They should have done something different with her, or I think they didn't know what to do with her, so they just turned her into a vampire instead of, I think they just didn't know what direction to go, so they did that. Which is dumb, but yeah. But she annoyed me like the whole time. I think most people like her. I don't know why. But, okay, next character. Old Jason. Sookie. Brother. Honestly, I think that was good casting, because I think they look like they could be siblings. First season, he was just a little shit, especially in the first half of it. They were trying to make it seem like he was the murderer of all these women, but he wasn't. He was just too dumb. Honestly, he wouldn't hurt a fly. He's just so stupid, and we love him. There wasn't a scene with him that there wasn't going to be some kind of entertainment, because he's just that dumb character. Like, he's actually dumb, but like good. I have a thing for dumb characters like that. I don't know why. Idiots, himbos. I just love dumbasses. So, like, at one point he was starting to become one of my favorite characters. I'm like, I just love this guy. He's so stupid. Like, you are my everything, Jason. I don't like your name for personal reasons. But, if you like, a good dumb character, he's it. Like, and he did like some bad things. He didn't like the vampires at first, and then, he slept with Hoyt's woman. You don't do that to your friends. I'm sorry. You just don't. Don't do that to your friends. But he was just so great. We love him. I wish I knew somebody like that in real life because it'd just be entertainment. I just love the dumb characters. And anything I'll probably like the dumb character the best. Or like they're gonna be up there for me. I don't know why. Or dingy, dumb. Like certain like characters, it's just I don't know. He's funny. But he was always naked and messing around with people, so but I guess I wasn't complaining. It's also a nice to look at. So next up we have Jessica. She was Bill's first progeny, as they say. He created her because he had to, or like he was gonna die or something. I don't know. But she was just a 17-year-old girl, and she was scared. And then at first, after she was annoying, but I mean, she was still like, she just turned. She was a teenage girl, but she ended up becoming one of my favorites. She was so good. She was baddie. But yeah, she wasn't evil. She kind of was at first. She was trying to, she was with Hoyt, her first love, but then she's like, oh, I just need something. She needed more. She's a vampire and she's young, so and she started hooking up with Jason. And then she ended up marrying Hoyt at the end. I don't know, man. I was like, what in the world? Because Bill was dying, but she really just she still loved him. But Jessica, I love her. Yeah, she was overall just a good character. She made mistakes. I didn't like everything she done, but that's just with every character. But she was overall good, and she was trying. And yeah, I feel like with a lot of shows, they don't really do women in them justice. What the hell is this song? But yeah, she was wonderful. I wouldn't have thought I liked her so much, but I do. Ooh, I'm itchy. Okay, next up, oh my gosh. He was my first favorite character. Lafayette, Tara's cousin. He worked with Jason and in the bar with everyone. He gave all the personality, okay? Personality, like, he always had something, I don't know, but he was like, he was amazing. Oh my gosh, I think most people do agree that he was like the best character. I don't know what else to say. He just had it all. He was a good guy. He had personality. He was funny. He just out of everyone with like their lines, like what they say, he had like the best. I don't know. He was great, and he ended up being a medium. So he was getting possessed sometimes. But he ended up getting with James. He was awesome. And rest in peace to the actor, but he did a phenomenal job in this show. I don't know what this song is. heard this one once. I was trying to find songs to play on here. I was like, what the hell? But Lafayette, hands down, best character, 10 out of 10 character. Like, he was amazing. I have like no complaints from this character, like, at all. We love him. Like I said, you are my everything. He is. Love you to death. Next up, we have this big old sexy man, Alcide. He is a werewolf. He was with dumbass Debbie here. He's way too good for her. He ended up being into Suki. He killed Luna's, Sam's girlfriend's ex, who's also her baby daddy. He like crushed his like throat. That was really hot when he did that. But, whew. In this show, how he looks in this show, one of the sexiest men I've ever laid my eyes on. He's also like, have you seen him in Magic Mike 2? Because yes, did that as well. But oh, he's just so hot. But unfortunately, his character, even though he ended up being the pack leader, I don't know, he was just kind of a weenie. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna put him at We Stand. He was a great guy. He was great. Overall, just great man. He's one of the best men. Like, he definitely will know how to treat you. Him and Suki ended up getting together, and they were together for a while. But he ended up dying. Yeah. He died? I'm like, really? But she wasn't, she loved him, but she wasn't in love with him, if that makes sense. But if a man like that wanted me, I would be like, okay. Don't have to tell me twice. Just look in my direction. Like, yeah. Like really? And she chose Bill. She was too caught up on Bill. I know you can't help who you are in love with, but still. Bill? I don't care if I was in love with Bill. I don't get me. Okay, I'm awful. I'm sorry. But yeah. Werewolf. He was pretty wolf, actually. But he was just kind of a weenie. So he's not in your my everything. We just have to stand him. Because he's just a little weenie boy. He could hurt someone if he wanted to, but he was just kind of, you know, weenie-fied. You know what I'm saying. But we still love him. And we love to look at him. He is built so well. He's 6'5" and built. Oh my gosh. And just, yeah. Yes. That's all I have to say about that. Next up is Pam. Oh, she is the baddest of them all. Like, she's such like a bitch. And she's like, says mean stuff, but she's so great. We love her. You're my everything, Pam. I love you so much. Always has something to say, and we loved what she was saying. She was Eric's progeny, so he made her, and they were just together for, like, not romantically, but, you know, they were each other's world, though. You know, they loved each other so much, but not in a romantic way. They would do absolutely anything for each other, and I was here for it. She was such a queen. I know that's something kind of cringy to say nowadays, a queen, but she was. And she made Tara too, and then, yeah. And she loved Tara so much too, and they got together, but she would have done anything for Tara. Like, oh, she was amazing too, and we love her. Yes. We loved her. Shout out to the Queen Pill. She was really the baddest. The baddest of the baddies. She really was. Next up is Vampire Bale. Bale? This show was so unserious, and that's what one of the things I loved most about it, because it was so stupid, like, but in a good way, and they were so unserious for a lot of the time. It was like almost like a parody, if that makes sense. It was so like, she made fun of his name. It's so funny. Empire Bill. Okay, I liked Bill the first episode, and I liked him. I kind of didn't. He's kind of a weenie, but also not at the same time. And then he started getting on my nerves a lot when they were in the Authority, and he was like praising Lilith, and then he drank her blood and became whatever, and he was just crazy. I don't know. I did not like him during that time. Bill was just mid compared to Eric and Alcide. Let's be real here. Like, some people prefer Bill, but who really is that? My mama's friend said she liked Bill over Eric. Why are you always choosing the weenies? Come on. Do 50-50 on Bill. Why are we liking these weenies when we could be liking... Oh, Alcide was kind of weenie, but... I don't know. Bill wasn't like a weenie. He would hurt somebody if he had to. He did. There were some things I liked, like when he killed Suki's uncle. Yep. That was great of him. We were here for it. Because he, like, abused her when she was a child, so... Bill went and killed him, and applause for Bill for that. But he only started trying to get to know Suki because the Queen of Louisiana wanted him to find out what she is. And he never said any of this. And he was always lying to her and stuff. So who's really the one who's toxic? Him or Eric? Because I think it's him. Because at least Eric is upfront and honest with who he is. And he's hotter. But Alcide was just, he was just a good guy. So overall, there was not a bad bone in his body. So I don't know. Can't help who you love. And also, him and the Suki, both of them, like, in real life, actors, were together. Like, they met during the show and they ended up getting married, so, in real life. So, I think that's what swayed some of, like, the romantic parts in the show, because it was different in the books, kind of, so. But he ended up dying because he got, infected with that disease. They called it Hep B. That bitch Sarah down here made. But he didn't want to be cured. He just wanted to die. So he had Suki end him. It was really sad, actually. It wasn't that he died, it was how he died. It was like, just think about it, like, you have to do that to the person you love, and it's like, That's just awful. I would not recommend going through watching that. It was so sad. That was like, it was very sad. I bawled my eyes out during that. But anyway, next up is our main gal, Suki. Waitress. She ended up being a fairy. She had a fairy blood, which is pretty cool. It starts out she's just reads minds, so you don't know what's going on with that. She ended up being like a fairy with a royal bloodline. It's her grandpa, but a lot of people don't like her and just think she's unbearable and annoying. I didn't get that. She didn't annoy me that much. I can see why. I didn't like a lot of her decisions. She did get, I guess she was annoying sometimes, but overall I liked her, and I don't understand how people just hate her so much. Did I like who she chose? No. Some of it was just dumb, some of the decisions she made, but overall I did like Suki. She never really bothered me that much. And she got to be with like a bunch of hot men too, so like, come on now. She had those fairy powers. Mostly read mind, and then she could make this ball, but she would have to lose her powers for it. Well, no, she could shoot lights out of her head. So, that would push people back, like throw people. That's pretty cool, I guess. But I overall like her. I don't have much to say about Suki. That she's kind of stupid for the decision she made. But I won't put we stan her. We'll put her because overall I just liked her, and she never got on my nerves at all. Like I said, some decisions she made, yeah, but her overall, no. And jealous of her. Jealous of her. Jealous. You have all these men. These hot ass men. Man, girl. Wish I was you. Hot men, I mostly mean I'll see them. You didn't say it so bad with me. I can do. But yeah. We're looking at him as a nigga. Piece of shit, you know? Okay, folks, we are down to our last character. This one's still out. See, I couldn't get rid of it. I'm not going to put it on here. I added some of the characters, but most of them are already on here. Big Daddy Eric! Oh! This man, he was there since season 1. Season 1, he didn't... There wasn't really much going on with him season 1. He had like the longer hair. He still looked good. But he didn't get much of it. Season 2. Oh my gosh. He got the new hairdo, and then we could see more of his personality. And he was just, oh my gosh. I was drooling the whole time. Except a few times he gave me the dick a little bit because he was kind of creeped to Suki. Yeah, he's a bit of a creep, but can't help it. He's just so fine and so divine. Very delectable. He's just so sexy. He's at the very top of our list because, whew, good-looking guy, 6'4", built nice. And then just his personality too. Yes. 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 Oh my gosh. there's just at some point I just wanted him to be in all the scenes. I was like, we need more Eric. We need more Eric. I was like, oh, I just want Eric. Just give me Eric, please. That's all I need out of this show. And I wanted him and Sookie to get together so bad. And they finally got together. But when he lost his memories, and a lot of people were like, oh, this is the best Eric. Memory loss Eric. Amnesia Eric. Best Eric. No. He turned to a complete weenie. I don't want that. I don't want some nice little soft-spoken guy. I want big, badass, sexy Eric. Did I like him? Sure. Yeah. He was great. I would put him in We Stand if it was just that Eric. But that's all he's getting because he was such a weenie during that time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I do hope he does not stay like this because I can't. And a lot of people like him like that. And I'm like, no. Why have this when you could have had that? Be real. But that's when Sookie gets with him finally. And it doesn't last too long. He gets his memories back. Now, at some point, she's like, oh. She could choose between Bill and Eric. And she chose neither. Bitch, at least. It seemed like she was going to choose Eric, and he was like so happy. But no, she's like, I can't be with you either. Maybe I should put her down the list, because, bitch, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got this man, and you obviously love him. And she was dreaming about them both. Like, she wants both of them. Maybe you should have picked both of them. Why, howdy there, Motive Dreams. You caught me in a bad moment because after this, I'm about to get off of here. But I can keep talking about Eric Northman for a million years. Believe me, because come on now. Just look at him. Heart eyes, hard eyes. Alrighty. It's almost over. I'm sorry, pal, but thank you for being here. This is True Blood. I just recently watched the whole show, and it was very good. And especially this man right here at the top. He ended up getting sick. So I thought he might have died. He didn't. They got the cure from Sarah. And I was hoping Sookie would end up with him, but no. She ends up with nobody. Except for some random, we don't even know who it is. Random human guy. That's one reason Bill wanted to end himself, because he wanted Sookie to be able to live a life without him and have kids and blah blah. Why are they failing people? After studying, why are they failing people? I was one thing, I was never good at studying. I did not like school. Well, that's very messed up, and I hope they get what's coming to them for doing that. Just don't make mistakes. I hope everything goes well with that, though. Because that's plumb ridiculous. I would advise everyone to watch this show just to watch him because he was the show. Like, I could only think about this man, like, had a hold of me this whole time. I just wanted to see him so bad. It's all I could think about. Not even lying. Like, it was. He's still everything. So go watch the show if you haven't. Just because of him. I'm just letting y'all know now. It's an HBO show. If you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of graphic and explicit stuff on there, so be advised. That's what you're going to be seeing. This man wants to talk to me about this man, please do, because a lot of people share my feelings for this man. And I ain't even into blondes. Blonde hair, blue eyes. I like dark features, for the most part. He came into my life kind of like, because I watched Buffy last year. I gotta finish it. Spike did. But this man is probably the best out of all the vampires out of anything I watched. So everybody's getting rounded up. Well, I think I kind of get the gist of it. That's messed up though, and I hope that everything goes your way. That does not make sense. Why are you doing that for one half and not the other? Like you said, that don't make any sense. Why? Anyways, like I said, even with the Vampire Diaries, and I'm a Vampire Diaries gal. I love Vampire Diaries. I don't think I love me some Damon Salvatore. But he takes the cake. He comes out on top. Even my mom agrees, and she's a Vampire Diaries girly too, that he is so sexy. He's just the top of the top. He is number one in our hearts. He's he is just amazing. Bow down to him. Like, I'd do anything for this man. Please. Please! Come on! Are you serious? That's ridiculous. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm so sorry it's happened to you. But True Blood was such a good show. I'm surprised I didn't get into it sooner. But like I said before, I'm glad I had something to watch that was fresh and new. I did not like the ending. The ending sucked. because it gave nobody what they wanted out of it. And they should have. Suki should have ended up with Eric. She should have, but no. No. It was a dumbass ending. Shouldn't have done that. I'm pissed. I was so upset at the ending. Well, I hope you don't have to do that. I hope you can get, you know, the right grade, like, so you don't have to repeat anything. I really hope that you don't have to do that, because that sucks. I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I really hope that everything works out for you, because that's just not okay if they would do that. But True Blood, one of my favorite shows now. Like I said, Eric, the best vampire out of them all. I don't know if it's because he's 6'4" and sexy, but okay. I'm sorry, I like a good height on a man. I like a good height on a man. I'm no better than all the others. I don't like 6'4" sexy vampire. Come on now. 6'4"? And then Alcide, a werewolf, 6'5", dark, tall, dark, handsome man. Come on, and you choose Bill. Suki, come on now. Is he a good looking guy? Yeah. Yeah, he is. But especially Eric. Eric even just had the personality too. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'm just crazy. But this is what we want. This is who we want the people to end up with. This. Not even nobody. Some person we don't even know. So she could have a baby. Get real. She could have adopted or damn had a donor. And then she could have gotten turned. And then turned her kid to be with Eric. But no. But yeah, that is my tier list. I'm gonna save it. Hold on, buddy. I'll get you some water. Guess that's where I will end it too. I'm sorry you came in at a bad time where I was about to end it. But, hey, please stop. So please excuse me. Alrighty, that is for time. Yeah. Um, I heard it earlier, the static. I think it might be from, maybe it's just not plugged in good, or it's where I'm in my living room today instead, or whatever. But thank you for letting me know, and thank you for being here and chatting with me while you could. That was my tier list. That went on a good amount of time, I suppose. Yeah. Again, thank you all for being here and chatting with me. I don't know when I'm going to stream again, but I'll have it up on my Twitter at some point and let y'all know if you want to check that out at Jolene Darling on Twitter, or X as they call it now. Check that out. But yeah, I'll see you next time I stream. Come check out Twitter. Thank you for being here again, and also, I hope everything works out for you, Motive Dreams. I really do. But good night to you, and thanks again for being here. Bye-bye.